What is the book of Ezra? Well, Ezra was written, as the title of the book implies, was written by Ezra the scribe around the 5th century BC. Now, the significance of that is noting first and foremost why we should listen to Ezra was not only because he was alive at the events that he was reporting firsthand, but was noted as someone who was particularly educated as being literate, a scribe, and had an extensive knowledge of the sacred Jewish scriptures. That would be what we would know today as Genesis all the way through 2nd Kings, the Psalms, and so forth. Now, what's important to note about the background of this book is that Israel as a whole was brought into the land of Canaan after the people living there were given around 600 years from the time of Abraham all the way to Joshua, and second chances during those 600 years to stop their idolatrous practices. These were things that they knew were wrong, and they had the consequences explained to them. And, of course, before Israel was brought into the land to enforce those consequences, to see them driven out of the land, they were warned that the same mistakes would provide the same results. And after being given 800 years of second chances themselves, they were given 70 years of exile in the land of Babylon, which is in modern-day Iraq. This was predicted all the way back to the time of the prophet Joel, who spoke during the time of the 9th century. But in the 6th century, the prophet Jeremiah predicted that they would be restored to the land after those 70 years, and they were. Ezra was the spiritual and scholarly leadership of the nation at the time when the first group of Hebrews began repopulating the land of Israel. Now, this book is intended to be a historical account of this first group getting their bearings and, of course, focusing especially on the restoration of the temple. While it wouldn't be as beautiful and well furnished as Solomon's temple almost a century prior, it would allow for the regular practice of the Jewish worship of the God of Israel once again, which is what this book focuses on. Now, the reason why this is in our Bible is because, again, as the books of prophecy record God's words to Israel, the historical section given before those words are known as so that we not only understand where and when and why these things were said, but also get the chance to find out when those prophecies were fulfilled. It's also worth noting that historically, two of the minor prophets, Haggai and Zechariah, were serving at the same time that the book of Ezra was taking place and being written. So it's worth your while as far as understanding the background, not only of what those two books were about and what they were addressing, but also the specific issues and events that were taking place in Israel leading up to and how that ultimately worked out, that God kept his promises to bring them back and how that process began.